Why did Queen Elizabeth I, one of England's most powerful monarchs, never marry? Was it a calculated political move, a personal choice born from trauma, or something else entirely? Today, we're re-diving deep into the enigmatic life of the Virgin Queen to unravel the truth behind her legendary reign. Elizabeth's childhood was anything but stable. Her mother, Anne Boleyn, was executed by her father, King Henry VIII, when she was just 2 years old. This event cast a long shadow over her life. She witnessed firsthand how marriage could be a political death sentence for a woman, even a queen. Her half-sister, Queen Mary I, married Philip of Spain, a union that was deeply unpopular and dragged England into costly foreign wars. Elizabeth learned a crucial lesson. A husband could easily become a master, and a foreign king could prioritize his own country's interests over England's. When Elizabeth ascended to the throne in 1558, England was in turmoil. It was religiously divided, financially weak, and internationally isolated. Her council, her parliament, and her people all expected one thing: that she would marry and produce an heir to secure the Tudor dynasty. The pressure was immense. Suitors came from all corners of Europe, from Spanish princes to French dukes. Each proposal was a diplomatic minefield. Marrying a Catholic could alienate her Protestant subjects, while marrying a Protestant could provoke Catholic powers like Spain and France. The stakes were incredibly high. So, what did Elizabeth do? She turned her unmarried status into her greatest weapon. She brilliantly played the long game, dangling the possibility of marriage to keep foreign powers in check. For years, she entertained negotiations with various suitors, using the prospect of a royal wedding as a bargaining chip in international diplomacy. She'd hint at an alliance with France one moment, then lean towards Spain the next, keeping everyone guessing and preventing them from uniting against England. It was a masterful display of political chess. By refusing to commit, she maintained England's autonomy and kept her enemies off balance. But it wasn't just about foreign policy. Domestically, remaining single allowed her to consolidate her own power. A husband, especially a royal one, would have expected to be king and ruler. He would have had his own ambitions, his own court faction, and his own influence. Elizabeth wasn't willing to share her throne. She had seen what happened to her sister Mary, whose husband Philip was deeply distrusted by the English. But Elizabeth was determined to be the sole ruler of her kingdom. She famously told Parliament, "I will have but one mistress here and no master." Of course, there were whispers and rumors. The most persistent one involved her childhood friend and master of the horse, Robert Dudley. Their relationship was intensely close and deeply affectionate, sparking endless gossip at court. Many believed she truly loved him and would have married him if she could. But Dudley was a controversial figure. His wife, Amy Robsart, died under mysterious circumstances, falling down a flight of stairs. The scandal made marriage to Dudley politically impossible. Even if she had wanted to, marrying him would have likely triggered a rebellion among the nobility who saw him as an ambitious upstart. This personal tragedy may have solidified her resolve to never marry anyone. Instead of a husband, Elizabeth dedicated herself entirely to her country. She cultivated the image of the Virgin Queen, married to her kingdom and her people. This was a powerful piece of propaganda. In an age that revered the Virgin Mary, Elizabeth presented herself as a pure, almost divine figure chosen by God to lead her nation. She replaced the image of a traditional queen consort with that of a queen regnant who was both mother and father to her subjects. This persona inspired immense loyalty and devotion, uniting the country behind her. Her famous golden speech near the end of her reign perfectly captures this. Though you have had and may have many mightier and wiser princes sitting in this seat, yet you never had nor shall have any that will love you better. This unique approach had a profound impact on England. Her long, stable reign, known as the Elizabethan Age, became a golden era of exploration, culture, and national pride. Without the distractions and conflicts of a royal marriage, she could focus on strengthening the economy, building up the navy, and fostering a sense of English identity. It was under her rule that Sir Francis Drake circumnavigated the globe and the English navy famously defeated the Spanish Armada in 1588. This victory was a defining moment, securing England's independence and marking its rise as a major naval power. The arts also flourished. The Elizabethan era gave us William Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, and Edmund Spenser. Theatres were built, poetry was celebrated, and a distinct English culture blossomed, free from the heavy influence of a foreign court. Elizabeth herself was a patron of the arts, and her court was a vibrant centre of creativity and intellect. Her choice to remain single contributed to this cultural flowering, allowing a uniquely English identity to thrive. However, her decision was not without consequences. By not naming an heir, she left the succession uncertain for decades, a constant source of anxiety and potential instability. Plots and conspiracies were a regular feature of her reign, most notably those surrounding her Catholic cousin, Mary, Queen of Scots. Mary was seen by many as the rightful heir, and she became a magnet for plots against Elizabeth. The rivalry between the two queens is a dramatic story in itself, culminating in Mary's execution, a decision that Elizabeth agonized over. In the end, as the last of the Tudor monarchs, Elizabeth had to address the succession. She secretly arranged for James VI of Scotland, the Protestant son of Mary, Queen of Scots, to succeed her. When she died in 1603 after 44 years on the throne, the transition of power was peaceful, a final testament to her political skill. She had navigated England through decades of danger and left behind a nation that was stronger, more confident, and more unified than she had found it. So, why did Elizabeth I never marry? It wasn't one single reason, but a complex mix of personal trauma, political genius, and a fierce desire for independence. She turned what society saw as a weakness, being an unmarried woman, into her greatest strength. She ruled on her own terms, defied every expectation, and forged a legacy as one of history's most successful and iconic rulers. Her story reminds us that sometimes the most unconventional choices lead to the most extraordinary results. What do you think was the biggest factor in her decision? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most fascinating figures. See you next time.